Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Gallywix, that fat, gold-hungry goblin, has disappeared. And now it would appear, so has the boosting community bearing his name. So no, we are not talking about the gold-hungry goblin of lore, but on a side note, I would love to see a fat goblin model, Blizzard, please. Thank you. Instead, we are talking about the boosting community Gallywix. But before we get into the latest drama in World of Warcraft, let's take a trip down memory lane. Follow me on a journey into the past. Since the first lost traveller with some gold bumped into a mage and asked for a portal mentioning, "I'm willing to pay," services for gold have been a part of World of Warcraft. Enchanting items, opening lockboxes, the auction house of course, and mage portals as we have mentioned. But gold was hard to come by back in the day, and there were many things to purchase. Want an epic steed and the ability to ride it? Well, you're poor, so no. Instead, stand in the streets and let the boys and girls on their big boy mounts ride past you, kicking dirt into your face. But wait, we have real money. What if I could somehow, by some means of magic and witchcraftery, purchase gold for real money? Ha ha ha! This, of course, is very much against terms of service, and still is to this day. Remember that. We'll come back to it. Now, I will say on a personal note, I think everyone that played WoW back in the day knows somebody that has some crazy WoW gold story of how they purchased gold and it went horrendously wrong or just was a minefield. It was a seedy deal in a dark alley, but it was sadly pretty common. Blizzard would try and do something about it, banning accounts, etc., but the truth was, like Hydra, you cut off one head and two more will take its place. Now move forward a little and players have learnt, well, kind of how to play the game, so Blizzard needs to create more and more challenging content for them to face. Gone are the 40-man raiding, no more carrying those scrub lords, now you're an uber boss killing guild. Some people are left behind, the gap between those that have and those that don't gets bigger. No longer is there space in your raid for Jimmy, the funniest guy that you have ever met, but also, quite honestly, an awful raider.
Fuck.
Sorry, Jimmy. So times move on again, and we have Qatar and the Firelands. People want their juicy goodies, but they have long since been left in the dirt with regards to raiding. So how do I achieve this feat? How do I get the goodies I wish from Firelands? Well, what if I pay with real money the top guilds in WoW and they could boost me? I will say at this point that yes, you could at the time pay with gold, but as with real life, cash is king. Now, be in no doubt, Blizzard must have had an inkling, to say the least, that this was happening. But it was true then as it is now, Blizzard have favourite. They let the top guilds off, as long as they kept it on the down low, didn't shout about it, and didn't promote what they were doing. Head into Missa Pandaria, and all of that is left behind, and the explosion that comes with challenge mode. People want those juicy transmogs, they want the mounts, and so on. Now some maths is needed, ladies and gentlemen. So you're a bad player, and I mean really bad. More importantly, you have no interest in getting better, or finding a group of people to play with. So how do I complete challenge mode? How do I get my transmogs and my juicy mounts? Yes, you guessed it. I will pay using cash money, baby. How bad is this player, you ask? Well, so bad that they are happy to pay $30 for proving grounds bad. Yep, this actually happened, by the way. Even so bad as to require somebody to complete the Green Fire questline for you. Bear in mind that also needs you to hand over your account to somebody else. A very big no-no and against terms of service. Around this idea of boosting people grew a whole community. And this has snowballed on and on until we find ourselves in the position we are now in BFA. Now you may be sat there thinking, it really isn't that bad. Maybe even thinking, no one I know boosts. Okay, yeah, I see the WTS in Dungeon Finder and it's annoying. But lol, no one actually uses that, right? Let me tell you a story, my friend. During the race for World First, Limit borrowed 257 million gold from Gallywix. They paid it back within 7 weeks. That is almost 37 million gold per week on boost runs for one guild. And that's assuming that all the gold went to Gallywix, with nothing left over for Limit, which seems unlikely. So what is so wrong with all of this? Yeah, it's sad paying for boosts. That is, of course, my humble opinion. It's like paying for a certificate that declares you are able to play a violin at some grand concert level. In fact, you can barely whistle. It's fluff. It means nothing. It has no substance. The counter to that is people have gold, let them do with it as they wish. And there is something to that. But grim, you grumpy warlock. Gallywix are the #1 boosting community, promoting itself as gold only. They're as honest as the mage at the beginning of our story that opened the portal and took the tip and went about his day. Yeah. Or maybe not, as it turns out. Many of the management of Gallywix have been involved in RMT.
Oh, fuck.
And that's where our drama starts. Now, RMT means real money transactions, a big no-no in the eyes of Blizz. On a side note, it is currently an interesting talking point regarding streamers and their UIs, which they will say is available if you sub, meaning in essence that you're going to pay for it. But creators of add-ons can't sell their product, UIs, etc., because Blizzard would go after them extremely hard for making money off of World of Warcraft. But what makes this so much worse, and the reason I believe now rather than before Blizzard have smashed down the hammer like Thor, is Gallywix. For a while now have been using the well-known guilds to legitimize their actions. They have partnered with, back in the day, the likes of Method, of course Limit, Pieces, to name just a few. They ran competitions, been promoted by big names, and in return they have paid them millions of gold for it. And this pushed Gallywix into being the name for boosting. More than that, the name that even casual players knew of. They'd heard Gallywix. And that goes against, in my opinion, everything Blizzard is trying to achieve with Shadowlands. They want to create a more casual, new player-friendly experience to bring in and keep new subscribers. So they bring the banhammer down, and in 12 hours, Gallywix is dead. No Discord, no website, no Twitter, nothing. Now don't get me wrong, they will come back. Already we're seeing Phoenix rising in North America. But I think people will take a step back. A lot of people and guilds lost a ton of gold when Gallywix went down. This is the same tactic they used on private servers. Hit the biggest, crush them, and then the little ones will fall apart under the pressure. And people will worry about joining them in case they're going to lose things, they're going to get banned. I think, without a shadow of a doubt, this is a much harder fight to win. But I do believe it's one that needs to be won. Boosting should be because you want to help a guildie or a friend, even a random strange in group finder. Just because you have, say, 20 minutes spare. That's what makes a good community. If you're a streamer, do community boost runs for charity. The knock-on effect is a much more enjoyable gaming environment. And as I've spoken about before, good communities will keep players playing, and therefore paying. It's a win-win. I know people will say that this is Blizzard getting grumpy because they're not getting their cut of the pie, just like with private servers. But here is the thing regarding that. Have a look at the leaks coming out regarding Method. They spent somewhere around 32 million gold on tokens for things like server transfers, swapping characters between Horde and Alliance, and so on and so forth. That's a lot of money in Blizzard's pocket, and that was for one guild during the Race to World First. And of course, as we're talking about Method, we can't help but talk about Scripps and his tweet regarding buying gold for cash. As I said before, this has happened as long as WoW has been WoW. It's not right, it's very much against TOS, but let's not single out one guy because he held his hand up and said, yeah, I did it, bruh. He did wrong without a shadow of a doubt. Should he be banned? Yes, of course. Should it be perma? Probably not. What we need to do is focus more on dismantling the boosting communities, and in my opinion, in their place. And I hope the new WoW helper system will aid this. It will promote guilds and communities, and when I say communities, I mean also include Discord communities. Like Euroraider, shameless plug, they're the one that I play with, but they help you grow as a player and become better. That way you don't need to look to boosting Instead, as I say, you improve as a player. You gain a better sense of accomplishment because you work to obtain something. It's a crazy idea, right? With regards to the World First Guilds, I will stand by this every time. Just give them a tournament realm. That way, they're all competing on the same level, with the same resources, and it's far more enjoyable experience for the viewer and the player. No need for 4 characters on each covenant. Instead, they get to play what they want on live and play what they need on the realm. No more iron banks being used as kingmakers for those guilds lucky enough to have access to it. But that is enough for me. I hope this is a step in the right direction. Time will tell. Stay safe, good luck, I hope you get better. I will catch you all tomorrow. Have a good one, everybody. I'll talk to you all later.